Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. As you get ready to watch March Madness this month, there is a solution when you inevitably think, I need a better way to watch. The solution, called J.J. Surlis and Safety Systems, about all their incredible home theater solutions. No one can beat them in East Tennessee. They're tremendous. They've been doing it for 20 years now in terms of security systems, but also home theater systems. They will blow you away, and I mean it. Safety Systems. Okay, back to the YP board where Chuck Cavalera stands. We can see more of the full body Chuck. We're looking now cornerback, safety, cornerback, and then I put the nickel back in there as well. The way I have it broken down, I've got Thompson and Taylor obviously starting at corner, and then safety, McCullough, and Trayvon Flowers. I've got Schamberger in as your nickel back. I've got Balen Buchanan listed there because he continues to put on social media. This is someone who missed last year with a spinal condition. He continues to put it out there on social media to make it sound like he's going to be a part of this team. Questions still remain about whether he will or not. Gentlemen, I'll just open it up. Your thoughts on my starting four, depth at the position, holes to fill, general take on the secondary.
I mean, two big thing is you need Bryce Thompson and Alontae Taylor to take the next step. They didn't really do that last year for various reasons. Alontae Taylor had the early season, issues with BYU.
I think his coach crushed his confidence.
Yeah, that didn't help him. Bryce Thompson obviously suspended for a good chunk of those first three games and physically had to get into it. They didn't have great 2019s, but the skills are still there. They were playing really well at the end of the year. Those that have to take the next big step. And two, you talk about impact newcomers. I think Keyshawn Lawrence is a guy that can make an impact at a number of spots. I mean, he gets in the mix at nickelback, pushes Sean Schamberger for that spot. I mean, he can do a lot of different things, and he'll be a guy to definitely keep an eye on. Not here in the spring, but come summer, fall, I'm intrigued to see him on the field.
Yeah, when we mention a specific guy, we can get a shot over there. Keyshawn Lawrence, of course, in red because he is a true freshman, incoming freshman. Thoughts on the secondary?
I think Jalen McCullough is going to be real key for this team. I thought that Nigel Warrior, from about the Georgia game on, really played his best football at Tennessee, and they've got to replace that. Now, maybe it's going to be Flowers, but I think McCullough's a tremendous athlete. I think he's got a very good upside, and I think he's going to be very important. If he can come through and play at about the level that Warrior finished his career at Tennessee, I think that would be important for the secondary.
Just in general, I think they have to get proved, especially the cornerbacks at tackling. We saw a couple times basically with Thompson especially. There are plays that he gave up that should have been punting situations because it was a 3rd and long, and he comes up and just pushes the guy instead of tackling, and all of a sudden you've got another punt, or another 4 downs coming up. So I think they've got to work on a few things definitely, and that they need to improve, because if they want their draft status to rise, you got to show you're a complete player. And as much as guys like to think about Deion Sanders, that day's come and gone. There's only a very few guys that they don't expect to come up and play run tackle. And so I think those guys do have to show that they can do that a little bit better than they did last year.
Josh, what are your general feelings? Oh, go ahead. I'll let you take your point.
Well, yeah, I would echo Jimmy on Jalen McCullough. I think from an upside standpoint at safety, I like what Flowers and Jackson can be. I think McCullough has the highest upside, no question. And having to replace Nigel Warrior, I think he's a guy that has a chance to be, if you want to talk about all SEC potential, I think he would probably stand out in that group. And then depth at corner. Is it Keyshawn? Is it Kenneth George? It's more reliable. I think they need more help there, Warren Burrell, because if you have an injury with Bryce Thompson or Alontae Taylor, you could be in some real trouble. So they need another player or two at corner, I think, to emerge.
I do like the pool that they have to choose from. I think that's some good athletes in the secondary.
Chuck, do you have a point you want to make there?
Well, no, I just think you have a lot of talent here, but I wonder about the fundamental aspect sometimes when you see how they play. With what Jeremy Pruitt wants to do, your corners have got to be really solid. So I think Alontae Taylor, can he take that next step? Because he's got the talent, you think. That's a key player for them.
Is that the guy you would put, if Pruitt could wave his magic wand and make one guy guaranteed all SEC, who is it?
Well, I'll tell you what, John, I think that's tough, but I think Bryce Thompson, for all he went through last year, I think that's a guy, but we keep talking about Nigel Warrior. He was 3rd on the team in tackles, and he also had 4 interceptions. Who's going to step up here at that safety position?
All right. Who's most important, guys? Who, if you could give it to anybody, is it Thompson? You want to shut down corner? Who you go to?
In a 3-4, I need the free safety. The guy that's the general back in the backfield, I want him to be all SEC because he can make up for mistakes. Whether you rotate in a guy, that corner that you're not worried about, doesn't know, that guy that knows it all back there, he can, if he's also versatile where he can cover a lot of ground, he's the guy I want to be the all-SEC guy. So whoever plays the key safety position, that's the guy I need to be the best on the field.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to do kind of a catch-all segment on the defense. Anything we missed here, including Jeremy Banks' situation, it's still up in the air. And I'm going to ask these guys if they feel better about the front seven or the back four or five, as I have it there with the nickel back. Come on back, we'll discuss.
Thanks for choosing us to entertain,
complete with tension and biting humor.
and inform you. This is the Sports Source.